The amazing thing about the recent war against the Catholic Church by the Obama administration is that it managed to illustrate two very profound dangers in one act. One of them, of course, is the war against religion, something which has been building since 1963 and which affects our judges, many of our state legislatures, many of our bureaucracies. There's been a steady attack, particularly against the Catholic Church, but frankly, against anybody who's truly deeply religious. Because the secular left thinks religion's fine as long as it's 1 hour on the weekend, but it's not fine if you actually want to be religious. And so they've taken money away from a very long-standing program to help women who were trapped in the sex trade and people who had been victimized. They have, in many states now, they are driving Catholic adoption services out of business because they insist on adoption to a marriage between a man and a woman, which is Catholic religious doctrine. Again and again, you find efforts to force doctors to do things they don't believe in, to force nurses to do things they don't believe in. And the person who has been the clearest example of this is Barack Obama, who as a state senator voted for a bill, rather voted against a bill, which would have blocked doctors from killing babies that were surviving the abortion. There was one particular nurse who had held a baby for 45 minutes as it died. She testified that this procedure was barbaric, inhumane, and yet the one person who fought it was Barack Obama. And I think that tells you something about the intensity of his secular beliefs. Now, they attacked the Catholic Church this time, but the more revealing thing is, in terms of why we need to repeal Obamacare, there are over 200 powers hidden in that bill. This is just one skirmish. As the bureaucracy rolls out more and more things, takes over more and more control, dictates to the rest of us. And what was truly stunning was the arrogance and the dishonesty of their second act. When it was clear that the church had risen up, that the fight was going to be real, did the president concede that he was wrong? Not a bit. What he tried to do was so dishonest that it resembled George Orwell's 1984. He said, all right, we are not going to require religious institutions to buy insurance, to offer insurance that they don't want to offer, that conflicts with their religion, but we're going to require insurance companies to only offer the insurance which conflicts with their religion. Now, this was such a blatantly dishonest position and illustrated such a belief that the rest of us are so stupid that we couldn't see through it. That tells you almost everything you need to know about the arrogance and the dishonesty of the Obama administration. This has come on top of them making recess appointments when there was no recess, creating czars without Senate approval when in fact it's unconstitutional, and then continuing series of actions in which they believe they can get away with virtually anything. I believe that the Congress should cut off the money now, not wait for the election. No money can be spent unless it is appropriated by the Congress. And I believe the House should simply refuse to appropriate for those agencies which are doing things that are clearly unconstitutional and clearly illegal. And I believe every American who believes in religious liberty should take a stand. Remember, America was created by people like the Pilgrims and the Puritans, the Quakers, who came here precisely to find religious liberty, because in Europe they were being harassed and persecuted by the government. And now to have a European radical-style government imposed by Barack Obama, waging war against Christianity, is simply too much. We have to win the election this fall. This is vital to our future as a country. We have to return to being a country whose Declaration of Independence says we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And what that document means is no politician, no judge, no bureaucrat can come between you and God. That's what unalienable means. Those are your rights given to you by God. That's what America was founded on. And it's time for us to stand up once again for America, repudiate the radicals, and get America back to being a free country in which we unleash the American people to worship God in their own way without the government interfering. Thank you very much.